I can change the slide if you
Yeah.
want. Yeah.
Okay, so before I start with this, I want to tell you that this is one section that I want to speak about. It is just to give you a flavor of how AI is being used across different industries, and this is one of the verticals that I have just picked to talk about today. But there is another portion that I want to speak about, which I really want to convey to a lot of data scientists, and I think this is a very good platform to do that today. Because what do interviewers expect out of data scientists? I get a lot of resumes every day, a lot of resumes over LinkedIn, over different modes through company and all that. But I can tell what is missing in that and what do I look forward to in those resumes. So if you people are interested in hearing more about it or ask questions, I want to dedicate some amount of time for doing that. So I will speak about from different experience levels also. If you have 2 years of experience, if you have 5 years of experience, on 5+, then what is expected as an interviewer, as a hiring manager for me to look into your resume. So, I want to speak about that also. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. So let's get started with this. Does AI know fashion? How many of you shop across e-commerce websites?
Everybody does.
So anyone okay, 3 things only, 1 to 3 points I will take. Where you have seen the application of AI in e-commerce already.
They give the suggestions of the similar product.
Ads.
Suggestions.
They give the suggestions of the similar products.
Okay, similar products.
Semantic search. Semantic search.
What do you mean by semantic search?
Red polka dot.
Okay. Any questions?
Dynamic pricing.
Text generation. What is
In searching when you do the subject generation.
Or some query expansion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dynamic pricing.
Okay.
And also you can see how it will look in where that things.
Okay, where that look kind of thing that you have.
Or lens card tracking.
Forecasting.
Okay.
On the lens card.
Lens card I haven't seen. I already got operation.
I think probably with this app you can click a photo and say that I want to buy this kind of a t-shirt, and they suggest similar garments.
Okay, I think this is very good that we observe what we are actually using. Can you go to the
Sure.
next slide? Yeah, so this is just a picture where you can see some applications of AI already happening in Mintra, as most of you told. So where we can see similar styles, and when you know what are the similar styles, and then you also suggest what goes with it. So which is when people bought that, what else customer bought. Now, to get a bit deep into that, how do you think this is coming from? Customers also
Based on other users.
Other
Based
user
on the whole
also.
Working together with the shirt.
Okay. Other users?
The person who bought shirt and shoes together.
Okay.
Or might be the person who searched the first shoe also traversed to the second one.
Okay. But there can be
someone said
thousands
tracked.
of shoes, right? Why this shoe is coming from?
The color and the design, the pattern.
Okay.
Whenever we sign into these sites, we actually give away some amount of personal information, what's our geographical area, what is our age group, okay, and what is our previous shopping list that we have. So based on this, based on the geographical area, based on what age group we are, and what we have bought previously in the site, there can be a recommendation that okay, this can be suitable for your thing. That can narrow down a little.
Okay.
It is just similar like nationwide event.
Sorry.
Nationwide event, any event is appearing, say Diwali, what kind of products you can buy?
Okay. That's interesting.
Versus patterns between similar kind of users.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So to summarize, this one shoe coming up over there is a combination of everything that you guys have told. So, when companies build these kind of algorithms, when I was a part of DataWeave, I built this algorithm. So I'll tell you about my work that I did there because it's a lot related to what we are seeing over here, like in Does AI Know Fashion? So when we see products like which is recommended that when you have bought this, you should also buy this, or when you are looking at that shirt, you may also be looking at these similar styles. It is related to a person's geographical details, what other customers have bought similar to that product.
Sorry to interrupt. I wanted to ask that, supposedly previously I was not buying some branded products like some Nike or Adidas. So do they consider the price range of the spend that I have been making previously? So the recommendation that comes to me for the shoe, will it be like something that I'm able to afford? Like, do I take that factor?
It will be. So see, there are different ways. Like they have all the data with them. So that is one thing. The data is there. Now, how do they make application of it depends on them. Now, it's not like that all the time they are making use of price filters or discount filters or some color filters. It may happen that they are doing trial over you as a user, making a persona of you. Sometimes when they see that color works more for you, next time color will be recommended me. So it's a combination of everything. And it may also happen that, see, this is all in heuristics. We know that they might be doing it. Or it may also happen they are using very simple algorithms, not using something like this, something advanced like this. But there is 100% chance of doing all of this combined to suggest something to the user.
So it is still not dynamic at a user level. It is dynamic at a particular cohort.
So that depends on the like company to company. Like if Myntra is doing that, I don't know how they are applying it. But if I am building it, I may use it, I may not use it. But there are chances that they can use it. Like the feasibility is yes, of course. Right?
So, whether a climatic concern is also given because in the same place in a big country, now the same kind of weather is happening. Like those who are staying near to the hilly area, they're feeling much colder,
Yeah.
colder climate, rather than being near to the sea or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
definitely. It can
good
matter a lot.
example is Alaska and Florida.
Mhm.
For the same time, Alaska is already having 10 months of cold.
So then you would be looking more for winter wear clothes, right?
Correct.
And then you will also get suggestions which are similar to that. You won't be looking for, if you are searching for something summer based, maybe you are traveling.
No,
So it will-
my website, I mean, those who are looking in Alaska and those who are looking in Florida, we have different kind of things they will be doing.
They can be. Yeah, definitely they can be. See, all I'm saying is that we have all that information captured. Like, as an e-commerce company, you can capture all that. Now, it depends on you how you want to make use of it. I mean, you can choose to make use of all these things, but maybe you get to know that with hidden trials that it doesn't work. So then they would pivot to some other approach. But data-wise, they would want to collect as much as possible. Right?
So you said to connect every point to the revenue that it should be earning from the company. So how do you think that adding more and more variables, does that imply a huge external cost to the company, or like just adding 4 to 5 more features won't impact much in terms of cost?
See, feature-wise, like development cost won't be drastically high. Of course, when you are building a new feature, you would want extra set of engineers to work on it. You are paying them, right? But if I see a jacket and I see, I don't have these tools, let me buy them. That brings me revenue, direct revenue. So, and it is scalable feature. Like it is not like you are building for one person. Once the feature is built, you can hit millions of users with that. So your cost is one time, but reach is dynamic. Right? So you would always want to build features which are scalable.
So adding on to that, so how is the budget defined? So for you to predominantly spend on adding more, will that be kind of starting of your project or
See, at the starting of the project, I would only look at what brings me more revenue. So all the features, constraints is which is scalable, which I build one time, keep improving it, and it can reach as much audience as I want. So a scalable feature. Then second is, if I'm spending X amount, am I getting X plus delta out of it? If yes, then I should do it. Yes.
So when you see the number of features you use, right? So is there a way you also prioritize? Is each feature or each bit has massive data will not have equal weightage.
Yes.
So then how does the team decide, then what amount of weightage goes to which category of data?
So definitely in this kind of case, it is like more heuristics based. When you know when you are looking for something like shirt, you would want a matching trouser. Like trouser is a product type, which is a feature. So you won't recommend a skirt with a shirt for men's case. I mean, so feature is definitely there are priorities. That's true. Okay. So moving on, like if you look at this slide itself, you can see like multiple applications of AI. Like let me like list it out again. One is that recommending similar styles. Second can be like recommending different product type altogether to generate more revenue. Now the third is over here. If you see, for casual outings, you are being suggested fit and flare, A-line, ethnic dresses. So how do you know that this dress is fit and flare? How do you match the styles to it? So this is tagging that style to an already existing product. This is also an AI-based product.
Well, but a lot of these companies have buying teams that are focused and have stylists, trained stylists, if I'm saying fashion tech people working who do this, who do the entire buying decision. Because if I go in it's creating an inventory out of it, not every inventory has to sell off as much as the others. So they have these set of stylists who would be doing it.
So
Can be a mix of both. I feel more towards human effort.
from where do you think the stylists get the data that this style was sold the most in last season?
And selling most last season is not necessarily implying that this is the let's say bomber jackets for example. So that they have just suddenly come up, but they were not selling so hot as much as probably 3 years back. So some of that sometimes you need a human fashion sense to see that this is picking up or this is getting trendy or whatever the right term is. It can be data driven, I agree, but a lot of these companies do invest heavily into people.
Yeah, definitely. See, it is like the decisions that these stylists make that is backed by data. I'm not saying that if you build an algorithm, it tells you 5 words that polka shirts in fashion next year. It doesn't happen like that. But it is backed heavily by data. If I'm a stylist, I gather all the data points that are available that which style was sold most, or which color was most in trend, or which queries people search the most. There are different data points that are being gathered, and then a stylist makes a decision that, okay, like collectively, this is what should be in fashion next year. And that's how they plan it out. So I have friends you can say colleagues whom I work with very closely with fashion industry when I was working on this, like NIF graduates, and working in have you heard of that one Aditya Birla group? They had this ABOF. Yeah. So I mean, I can tell you from that experience that from where do they gather all this and how do they come up with insights at what they want to pick. Okay, so then all of you must have seen posters like this that we can say Saturdays and Sundays are about sleep-in, brunch, weekend sale, this much off, time to stock up now, shop now. Okay, this is all the text that is written over there. I mean, I'm not saying that all of this is AI generated or someone must have definitely written it, but if you as a data scientist have to think of anywhere where AI is being applied over here in coming up with this line, where do you think it has been used?
Percentage.
Why do you think the percentage?
They gather the data that for the past points where most traction we got. Based on that data, I come up with a number in the big range.
Okay.
And the colors are
Weekends, because you can see most of them are free. in the weekend.
Purchase happening those
Yeah,
days.
those days.
Okay.
The categories sleep-in and brunch.
Okay. Yeah, we can
In
see.
the image also that they are showing, it should be catchy.
And the thing is that if it is a winter time, depend on that, they can give the picture of the sale so that people get interested and go to the app and check, okay, fine, 30% off in the winter sales. So we can shop. And if you give a very light clothes in the winter sale, people may not be interested because after 3 months I will get the summer. Why should I buy now?
Exactly.
And the stock that I have, so for which I can price 30%.
That's what I was looking for. I mean, that's very apt. And like, to answer your point, I mean, uh, I don't think that they will use an image for winter clothes or summer clothes based on some AI-based decision. Let's not over apply AI also somewhere where it's not needed. Where you can just make some heuristics-based decisions, like it's morning, what should I eat? I'm not going to have chicken curry and rice. Like, I mean, we should not try to over apply things. So, but yeah, if you look at the posters or the information that they try to sell the e-commerce companies, they are heavily data driven. Like, that's how they try to change how people look at fashion, how people make buying decisions, and how they encourage you to buy more. Maybe move to the next one.
I had a question. So for a lot of these things, because Vinta already has pre-tagged data, right? Curated items. And like this is a, like instant fashion or something like that. These are trousers made of leather, these are also trousers made of leather. So how much manual work is required for these things usually, and how much of it is automated purely? Like whatever you're doing, how much time will it take, how much will it take?
Right. So see, it depends on source to source. Like when I was working on this problem, I had data from more than thousands of e-commerce websites, including Amazon and Lazada is in Southeast Asia, and Rakuten is there, and like Myntra of course, and Flipkart, like shop clues. So where like you have a lot of unbranded clothes, like where no one is spending that kind of money to tag it manually and then upload pictures out of it. So if you have to do analysis across all those e-commerce websites, you need to standardize them first, right? Then you should know the product type in each of them, and if you know the product type, the product styles in each of them, to like bring them to a common scale and then do some analysis on that. So it depends heavily on the like website to website. Source to source, basically, Myntra most clean, I would say. But shop clues and like some other like small vendors, very unclean. Okay, so like now let me talk about that from an e-commerce point of view. Where am I trying to apply AI into the industry to make buyers buy more? Okay, so let's say if I'm confused that what I have a party coming up, I need to dress up for that. I don't know what should I wear for it. So generally we are looking at thousands of products. Generally girls do that. I'm not stereotyping it, but I do that. I do not know about others. But we are looking for dresses and are spending time doing that. Okay, this will go best, that will go best. But not many times we have that kind of time. And if I have 5 competitors, websites, one of them is asking me, choose a category, choose a subcategory, choose a kind of dress, and giving me very crisp 10 options that are really catching my eyes and telling me these are the shoes that will go best with that. This is the purse that will go best with that. I mean, I went for that. I will definitely choose that source rather than any other source. So that's the kind of mindset the e-commerce companies or the fashion companies. I won't say e-commerce because they have like retail stores also, but the fashion companies are targeting for to make the user experience as smooth as possible, as quick as possible. So this Levi's website is an example of that. So you have a virtual stylist in front of you. Are you able to see it? Okay. So it's like I'm looking for white jeans for women. Now here, if you see looking for white jeans for women, how do you think it was able to give this? What AI was used in this? Can anyone please tell?
White jeans and women's. White jeans and women's.
Okay, so can you still break it down? Okay. We got the gender from this text,
Yes.
first of all. Then we got the product type out of it,
Yes.
but it's jeans. And then the color. So, first of all, tagging this text to map into categories, subcategories, and then color. It's a huge problem. Like, It's not as simple as it sounds over here. Like having been there, done that, I can tell you it's a huge problem. And also, let me tell you the order. First, I look for everything that is white. Then I look for everything that is jeans. Then it comes from women. The ordering also matters a lot. Like it may not sound that right in this kind of example, but overall, the ordering also matters a lot. So you need to build those kind of algorithms that can handle this kind of cases, tag it, order it, and then show you what is most suitable for you.
So which tools you are using to build the algorithm? I don't know.
Sorry.
Which tools you were using for that?
I indexed most of the data in using Rust. I did not go a lot in details because it's IP of the company. But I curated the data that I was given with. I tagged them to the algorithms that I built, then indexed them, and then all
Software or
Python.
Python. Everything in Python.
Okay.
Python, TensorFlow.
I have a question that you mentioned that earlier example that in UI you ask for a user to give inputs, but if you give a lot of options to choose from, people get fed up. Okay, if you go okay, I need to select the category, subcategory, and all. More number of inputs you ask, the more people will get frustrated and they'll look for some other website. So now in that, if you are watching a YouTube video and you get a survey report, you will feel good. No, I don't feel good. I will tell you the criteria, none of this, and click here. Okay. Okay. So that's why I'm saying in that scenario, what will be your approach? To give you a proper justification.
So the answer is right in front of you. If I just write looking for a cocktail dress in red color and full length maxi dress. If the algorithm is able to break it down, break all the filters, just give me 10 options, I'm done. I don't need to wait for the virtual assist to ask you all those questions, break it down for me and pick one option at each step. I should have the convenience.
I'm saying that one approach is that okay, I'm building a knowledge graph. Out of that, I know the relations. Where from where to node to which node I have to connect. Okay. So like that, any other approach you think that will be useful in this scenario?
So that is the from the algorithm point of view you are telling that. I'm telling more from the user perspective. Like the question is targeted to the user, right? Like you are saying the user will get confused if you present a lot of options. I'm telling that for the user, that's not the only way to get the best suggestions out of what they are asking. This is another way. You can just write it down in a sentence and let the algorithm figure it out. How the algorithm figures out, that's a separate problem.
I mean, after that, you could build some reinforcement. That would actually optimize the entire thing.
Right. Maybe if you are given the 10 options, maybe if the user clicks 2 of them as the best suitable one, it's a reinforcement option or like feedback loop, relearning on what the user has said.
Another question. From algorithm perspective, do you have separate model for white and jeans and women, or you have an entire model? Like a woman getting a white jeans.
It was an entire model.
Entire model.
LHT.
I've already left the company, I don't want them to sue me.
Tell you one question. So, do you use like only text data or also image data?
Heavily image data. Like text data, of course, to complement some things, but heavily images data.
On those images you apply analytics, like
Yes.
identify, suppose this particular case if we see white jeans. So now to identify white jeans, you apply deep learning models
Yes.
or maybe in the curated list.
Yeah, like deep learning models also for product type and
Don't you
some
think that will take a
styles.
lot of time? Like within second we have to present the result.
Yes.
Now
Why
if
do
you
you
are
think you have
giving
to do it in
100
real
of
time?
This is-
Why do you think you have to do it in real time? You can
Okay,
just
so already
retrieve in real time.
in the backend you have already this.
Training is happening, training name, but inference doesn't.
Yeah, so for extracting your features or making it pass through the model, you don't need to do that in real time. I mean, you just need to query in real time, right?
I mean, is it more? Which is a better option in terms of effort? When you build your model and your algorithm all on your own. Rather than that, switching on to some kind of platforms like language understanding intelligence services, whatever. That's actually one of the best language understanding intelligence service, Louis. So if we actually put that, will that reduce our effort? Will it be I mean, do I need, what do you say? I don't
You
need the
already
super skill
need-
resource, the time and the knowledge that resource requires to actually get the output would be less.
See, it depends on the use cases. Like, let's say, I mean, the models are very generic that's out there. What you are trying to solve is a very targeted problem. And for example, like in Hacker Earth, I was trying to build a model which is showing me some similar text, for example, on a career. Now, the text that I have is very technical text, like whatever I have to compare. If I have used Wikipedia model, if I use that, really poor results. Why? Because the data is very generic over there. It's not able to tie together that machine learning goes with each other. Artificial intelligence goes with each other.
So using that platform, you're saying is not going to be advantageous or more work to do?
No, it's not going to be that advantageous. I mean, you have to first check if it's working for you or not. If there's a very special use case that you are trying to target, it may not help you.
I mean, let's take this use case itself. Probably you had to do it through some kind of platform. Let's take Cortana itself, language understanding business service. I mean, would it be easier compared to what you had done? Or, I mean, how would you go about doing
So
that?
what if if you had written orange over here and Cortana would have influenced orange as a fruit, not as a color? I mean, in your model, you need that to be always a color. So you need to have that kind of a model which understands you always need a color. I mean, that's what I'm telling about in terms of text in what I'm doing right now. That Wikipedia model was not able to understand that machine learning goes together or artificial intelligence goes together. But when I built my own model using tech-based data, kind of, it was able to understand it. It will be, right?
Open to close loop.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, coming back over here. So these are some of the things that these fashion players or e-commerce players are doing in order to get more and more customers and to bring people to their platform. Like that's the niche that they are building out for the competitors. So when you write it over here, check out this. You get 10 options which are exactly matching what you are looking for, and you see it's getting the feedback also like more like this or something different than this. Like an example.
I have a question on this. So when you asked for white jeans for women, you got white jeans and a top. Why wouldn't you only get the jeans? Like, why would you show the entire thing?
So because you have a picture, like when you.
But you will have an independent picture of the jeans as well, right? If you're an e-commerce store.
It's more appealing to the customer.
See, like there are two reasons for that. I can tell you one technical reason and one business reason.
Sure.
Technical reason is that when you store an image, right? So mostly the image that you index or you apply features on is the first image that the user sees. There are 4 or 5 other images also, but mostly we use the first one. That is easier to do. First of all, you cannot. Then you are adding another problem when you curate features from all of them, combine it. Another, you are adding just difficulty to, which may not be that beneficial for you. That's a technical reason. Business reason is, if you see this, if you see that there is a matching top, you might want to buy that also. Trust it. Right. Okay, can we move to the next one? Okay, so yeah, this is the same thing from Levi's. Again, another picture to show what I was talking about. That when you are looking for a jeans, women's jeans, they ask you for the fit type, which is like getting deeper into the choices, and then recommending products that are maybe that may you be that you'll be willing to buy.
And so this was my question. So when you say women's jeans, you want to see jeans. You don't want to see
Yes.
top as well.
Yeah, but this is because this was the first image. It's not because they are not showing you targetedly. They are not like deliberately showing you this. They are showing you just because it was the first image. Yeah. Seriously. Okay, next one. Okay, so yeah, another facility that these e-commerce stores or these fashion brands are giving you is search by image. You upload one image and then you see things similar to it. I think Flipkart launched it, but they pulled it back. I remember like 3 years back, they had launched it. When I was working with AWS, that time they had done it. Myntra also had it, but I think they also pulled it back. Yeah, Amazon also.
Amazon does not. The search one you see in Amazon.
Okay, Amazon has it now. So,
They do it for the books.
they do it for the books. Okay. So, like, this has a lot of challenge. I mean, I can understand that why they might want to pull it back, because when you click a picture, right? Let's say I click a picture of you, but I really like a T-shirt. I want to buy that T-shirt. But how will the algorithm know that I'm just looking for the T-shirt? So it becomes a very difficult problem technically to solve. I mean, I can think of one of those reasons that it might have not worked that well. But yeah, with better models, better facilities, better algorithms, this is a very exciting feature to have.
Do you think privacy also is a concern for this?
Yeah. I think when you are uploading image, maybe they already have all those agreements. When you accept terms that whatever you upload, it becomes their
No, I mean, is it possible, the question is it possible for e-commerce sites to predict who is buying what? Suppose the person is buying for someone else. Maybe a person buying a lady person or maybe a kid. Now, doing this is searching it. So what kind of recommendation will be getting for the next time? Because user doesn't know who the person is. He may not enroll himself into that website again. So how can the recommendation goes for that particular website? So I'm trying to purchase something for someone else, and I do not know what is the exact, but I'm just ransacking the store. So in that case, how AI or machine learning can help?
So why do they want to know that who are you buying it for? I mean, they have the feature where you can tag it, but they just want to sell their product, right? I mean, they just whatever you are searching for, they just want to show you the best product available in that category. And if you are not on Myntra or if you are still on Myntra and all, and when they have ads tied to that network, if you look for like baby clothes, they know that you are searching for those things, and when you land up on their websites, they can show you baby clothes. I mean, that is a different problem.
Another experience I do have, I mean, suppose I try to search certain things. I mean, I usually get, okay, there is some already search information is there. Previously, some people have already searched it. So I try to tag myself, okay, this is the nearest search I could be able to find it out. Or my product will be this way. So in that case, I mean, is it only the text portion which is the unique kind of subject, or is it just something other is required? Previous search or other things required?
See, when you are searching, for you as a user, you are just giving that text as input. But the algorithm, while presenting the results, may use other fields also that builds your persona around it. So let's say the price range, or if you are looking at, if you might have purchased over here something that complements the new thing, it might show you. But it will be heavily biased on the search query that you are doing, right? Otherwise, like, you see a lot of noise as a user.
It depends on that geographical area. A lot of people buying clothes for that particular, kids' clothes, people buying only at that point of time. Or you bought the same thing last year, or people of your age bought the same thing so many years back. Currently, last 2 months, last 3 weeks, last 4 hours, people buying those kind of things could be used.
So it can come for reinforcement learning. I mean,
Yeah, if you see in Amazon search, you say no, you have recently bought items, recommendations based on your recent items, offers.
So it is following a trend.
Yes, it will follow all your search history, all the likes, all the items that you have visited to build a persona around you. It has a user persona. Based on that user persona, it will suggest things. Now, sorry.
How do you have to suggest for recommend?
So if you are a new user, like firstly what you are looking for, then what people have bought around you, and if there is anything in data to complement what you are looking for, let's say you search something on the computer or Google, just Google search, Google says everything, research. Then they might suggest something based on that.
Or randomly they put ads. You choose one ad.
Because you can open any Indian sites and just I want to search it. So they have the data from Google.
Internet history.
Yeah. Okay, so this was.
I would like to answer one thing, like related to your question, that companies have application data separately and commerce data separately. So you can, in commerce data, you will have all the demography of the customer. So you will have age, you will have gender, right? So, and in application, whatever you are looking at the pages, right? So from there, there is an intersection of those two things. A buyer may not be a user, right? As you said, a mother might be buying something for her children, right? And not to be someone, not to be like ghost. I'm working in finance.
Okay, next slide, please. Yeah, so these are like just few application areas that I could think of where like AI is being used in the fashion industry. Like one is like as companies, when you build algorithms, what all do you need to do with AI? So product tagging, of course, that whether it's shoe, belt, if you have a lot of products in a picture, how do you do it? Categorization of products, a product category, then discount estimation, like what will be the correct price range for this kind of product. Then inventory management, like if you know that something is selling really fast or something similar is selling really fast, that means you need to have more inventory of a certain kind of product. Then price prediction, that I think this is discount. Yeah, this is like at what price you should sell, competitive price. Then fashion trend estimation. If something is like yellow flower shirts are really in trend, everyone we see around wearing that. That means you should have more of that. Right? And targeted audience, like which kind of audience is willing to buy what kind of products. And upselling, like something you, as you saw in similar products, and you saw what goes with it, cross-selling, and assistants that we just saw, like virtual assistants. So these are like very few. I mean, they are used a lot more when you think more about the problem, when you are actually building it. Every stage, like if you can break each one of these problems into multiple problems. Like we saw in that simple text, white jeans with fitted maybe style. So it may look just a sentence, but there's a lot of algorithms that goes inside it to break it into types.
That's it, yeah.
I have a question. So whatever we have discussed right now is AI features is giving us knowledge. So the AI have a pre-trained model, right? On which it is listening. So what if you are going to start a new model? You don't have to do it. So how will you get data trained on the AI?
So you can use some open source data that is there, like the fashion is one of the open source datasets that you can use. Otherwise, for your own set of problems, you need to curate.
So you are setting up a new website or e-commerce site, you have to rely on the current data that you are giving to data you are
Yeah, so it depends on the problem that you are trying to solve. Like if you have a lot of data available in terms of e-commerce websites, you can just scrape them. You don't need to tag them. If you see that under jeans you have thousands of products, you already have a model built with a tag jeans and thousands of images being tagged against it. You can like smartly make use of that.
And on, I'm asking on your personal experience, have you found something like for any particular application, you have built a model and that works for another application also?
Usability of code.
It might have, like, I'm not sure of that, I haven't thought in that way. But I'll tell you where things did not work. Like, let's say, if I'm finding similar images, like I had a kurta, like woman standing straight, wearing a kurta, and I have to suggest similar products which are of that kurta. Okay. Now, the images that I got, like, I'll tell you the most matching image which was there with that kurta. Two women sitting on a sofa with a flashy background, and the woman sitting is wearing that kurta. Human eyes can tell it, it's the same kurta, right? But how will you make AI understand that? That this is that kurta that you're looking for. In contrast to that, there are other images where woman is standing wearing a kurta in different color or maybe slightly different pattern. Which one of it is it more likely to pick as the most similar one? a classic example can be if a model is standing straight, another one they are standing sideways, or there is hands in front of them. So this is blocking your features, right? The hands are blocking your features. So and the faces, all the models have different faces. So you have to make your model understand that the face is not a part of your feature set. So I mean, when you dig deeper into the problem, when you're trying to do this, data is the key part. Definitely, you need to curate a lot of data, clean data to make it understand. And your images cleaning, like pre-processing engine has to be really robust and strong.
From data science, but I would this example that you gave. So what I understand from it is that the problem was that AI was not able to identify the body form. So whatever was the most visible color, it was trying to pick it up, even though the color was a background and not. Is that the real problem?
Right.
So if it is an added algorithm in the beginning, where first the machine is able to identify the body form and then decide which color to identify, will that help solve the problem?
See, it's a very complex problem actually. Like when you see it this way, right? Like a person is sitting. Let's say he is unwanted for them, and we have another person who is wearing something similar, and he is standing. Now he is sitting among a group of all these people. Now, when you know that you have to always match images like this, then you can do something. But in another case, a model may be walking on a drag walk, and from there you have to match. So in that case, it becomes difficult because your the target images are very different.
So identifying the body form is a problem. Can we simplify it?
Identifying the right object out of the images is the problem. Because if you have similar type always, you can still apply some heuristics. But if it's always different, then it's not.
You talked about virtual assistants. So how much should it technology? So in fashion side, at least in Windsor, I see it not in the product. So any site is using the fashion site is using virtual assistant.
Yeah, Levi's is using. There is a company named Mode.ai, Mode or Model.ai, which are into this space of building virtual assistants for companies like this. So
Is it a
Levi's
chatbot?
is their customer.
It's a chatbot.
Yes,
It's a chatbot, right?
So I mean, if you, I took this images from some article. I think some BBC article. If you do a reverse image search, you should get to know that article, and there the name of the company is there. Mode.ai or Modi.ai, I don't remember the name.
Different stores already having websites, like you can consider Levi's. Levi's is already in the store and the website. So people have habit of going to the store to find out whether the bill is there to find it. So in-store customer analytics. So will it help to give it good feedback for the website for searching?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when you have users coming in, when you can capture a lot of feedback from them on their buying decisions, like that's why they do have our phone numbers enabled in store. They can make use of that information.
No, maybe not for the same people, but for other people. I mean, people have different choices for than in the stores. So based on that, will it help to improve the way it is categorized? Okay, somebody is trying to find white jeans or blue jeans. So in order to, based on those criteria, can we give them input for searching? I mean, or basically the features.
I think we can, and I think apart from that, one huge use case of that would be to see the trend, like what people in offline stores are buying more, and maybe the user who is using like search on e-commerce website, they don't know the right query for it, but they have in mind that I want to buy something like that. So maybe based on the trends that they have seen in offline stores, they can show products which are more matching to that.
And in some parts of Walmart or some places, based on movement, like say a person moves and his hand back. If you've seen some popular videos, it actually makes like a human, like a small sketch. The hand moves up in this direction and goes down. So okay, this is they're going to buy. They're not going to buy. They're going to steal. Seriously, they have this kind of stuff that can be done.
Stores, automated stores, where they do not have any
Human,
salesperson
yeah.
assisting you, any person assisting you, but everything is through like technology. So they do have all these things that by their even some stores have eye movements where which section your eyes are wandering more to see which product catches your more attention. So they do capture all of that. And then accordingly they sell the shelf space. So this shelf people had more eyes on, you pay more, I'll give you this shelf.
The virtual assets, so query can be put in infinite number of ways. So if you are, this is a more like a code start process, so I can specify what I'm looking for in many infinite. How do you handle this process? Are you able to generate different number of ways of text conveying the same meaning? Or, or
So you can never like give a combination of strings to match it. What you have to do is like you have to extract which are the keywords out of it which map to certain criteria, which can be a discount, product type, color, style. So I mean it's not about making infinite combinations of the text, but given a text, extract what you can get in terms of features and then apply those filters accordingly.
I mean, is there any way it can go void or invalid? Say, for example, I give jeans, sari, shoes, cap, goggles.
Oh, yes.
This is my search criteria.
Yes.
What will be the?
You have no idea what all users search for. They can use it for some imaginary names and something. Give me superhero costume. Make me a superhero. How do I? So.
Is it possible for a scope to exhaust all sort of criteria? I mean, for the chatbots that you mentioned, is it possible for chatbots to be intelligent enough to exhaust all the asking criteria?
It depends on the number of how the chatbot is getting trained, right? And how the keywords the chatbot is particularly able to match with its the model. Okay, so if you are giving a green bottle, so you went to Big Bazaar and you want to buy some bottles. So if you write the green bottles or order some green bottles for me, how the model is built behind the chatbot depend on that. It may give you the all the options which is available in that particular Big Bazaar store. So it is all depends on how the data scientist defined that particular model behind the chatbot.
Yeah, definitely. I'm saying that whether is it possible to exhaust all those criteria?
It is not.
You can ask.
It's not possible to exhaust that. It may be that they are asking for something that you don't have already. I mean, that's the right way to put it. And in that case, to still sell something, what you can show is the most trending items.
Yes.
And then, I mean, you always have to engage them. You cannot put them to a dead end road. It always has to connect somewhere or other.
No, the answer to it is also somewhere it starts from product type. So whatever algorithm you have built up will be able to pull data from products that being tagged from. Features are not being tagged, AI cannot do it.
It reminds me one of the TV commercials long that is for color. I mean, somebody is choosing the color, and he is asking, and that person is winning that color tin. So that kind of thing, it should not happen because somebody cannot ask anything abstract. But related to that particular item, whether it is being held in the store or not.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have in terms of technology, algorithms have evolved much more from that stage where they will get exhausted. So, like, if you ask, let's say, for one color which is not there in your inventory at all, you can still suggest similar colors.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the algorithms are built in a way that they never come to a dead end. Like, they always have to recommend something or the other.
When you say keyword extraction, you mean the entities in the text.
Yes, right.
On the sixth point, how do you use fashion trend estimation? How do you use AI?
So, mostly for inventory management, maybe, like, if you know
No,
that.
my question is like, how do you know what is in trend? Like, what fashion?
What is selling the most?
What is selling the
What is
most?
selling the
Like, for example, my
What is being
thought
sold?
process is like, let's say, a lot of people do that, right? Whenever there is Virat Kohli or Anushka Sharma's marriage, they want what they are wearing. So now I want to buy what Virat Kohli is wearing or what Anushka Sharma is wearing. So would that, because their marriage was there, so whatever they are doing, that's in trend.
Yeah.
So how is there something like that you use to determine like?
I mean, that can be used, but that becomes a very complex problem. Like, then how would you map it to something? But right now, the way it is being used is based on what whatever data you have already and what is being sold from that data. And so that you can estimate the future.
So that will not get new.
I mean, I can probably add more. Okay, so instead of 100 people or 1,000 people searching the dress what Virat was wearing and saying it's not that, getting the data after that, I should know before that. Okay, as soon as I type this, I get this information. That's
So
what.
if I just search Virat's wedding dress, I want what he was wearing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what.
That's too good to be true right now.
I mean, I think it's possible to be done. Like, I mean, because you get the pictures of the wedding out, and then you recommend similar looking products.
You can do that. I'm not denying the fact. You can always scrape social media, tag it, and store it in your separate knowledge base, and you can suggest from that.
Or the better way of editing it is you have your own product website and you are limited only to show what you want. But rather you can have such good similar dresses whatever Virat was wearing, publish it in the ad and popular search websites. So what happens is people reach that search website, you have a bid for it, and you get the best out of it. So you need not worry. It's a third party. You're outsourcing that part.
Another thing that can be done in this area is that you can have a external search suggestion. When you search for Virat's pictures, you also get results from social media websites which are public, and then using that you can then type to your similar products using that as a query, right? That is easy.
I have a query here on the fashion trend estimations to the top business decision part instead of to the customers for the business decision. This fashion industry is using the data like suppose crop top is supposed to be very hot in another 6 months or it will be out of the market, right? So these kind of trend analysis does they use?
Yeah, they do use.
And suppose a new style is coming in the market, might be it is in any fashion show or something, but not in the current market now. So that particular industry is getting the information or using this information to understand what kind of product they can sell after 6 months. Does they use?
Yeah, they do use that. They may not use a lot of complicated AI algorithms for that, but they do have business analysts who do all this analysis research, and then but it's all data driven.
Yeah, it's all data driven, right?
Okay, so we'll have one or two last questions for this session, and then we'll have the other session that we were.
Upselling, can you please talk about the upselling? What, how they are using the upselling part?
Similar products and
Giving the suggestions.
So giving the suggestions, making you buy something of the higher cost.
Okay.
Like if something is upselling and that inventory is full of that. And
Yeah.
With that, in few days, that trend gone.
That trend is
How do
gone,
they
so
do
they
that?
want that to move
Out of the
cost.
inventory.
Or moreover, if you don't make up your mind and go to a shop, a salesman sells what he wants to sell.
Yeah.
He wants
So
to
you
sell
have to
the
make up your mind what you want. That's what the sales and marketing people do. That this is what people have to buy in so many days. That's what they put, and they put all the way around the web.
Okay, one last question. After that, we'll wrap this up.
So whenever you build some model, right? So first of all, like you thought will have result, but how do you convince the let's say management team that this model will really work? Like, see, because you have put in your efforts, but now the result will depend on the people's data, right? Like the actual data that will of course be dynamic. So how do you convince the management?
You have to do a lot of testing and find out the accuracy of your model, and also maybe if you want to go a bit further, what you can do is, let's say, if I'm a company who is given a contract, let's say from Amazon, and they ask me, I'm giving you a list of 100 products, and you tell me what is the cost of my competitors of these products exactly across different 10 other e-commerce websites. As a data scientist, what is your first step? To get those 100 products, find exactly same matching product across your different 10 e-commerce websites, then build your similar algorithms to do that, and then propose which is the most similar one, right? As a data scientist, this is the step you would follow. So the time that you are spending in doing this, the model that you are building for doing this, and this scale, it can be scaled to later. If you are doing this, if you are making something, the entire pipeline for 100 products, can that be used for 100,000 products? Yes, right? That can be used. So, but if someone person is doing it manually. So at this moment, they may take like less cost to do that, but it is not scalable. If you have to, like let's say tomorrow you get a customer with 100 million products, 1 million products, you can deliver it in a day, but if you a person cannot.
Just another point to add to this was there have been recent application of using AI to actually design the dresses, similar looking dresses. Like there was a art show using GANs. So there was a similar, I saw some tweets regarding this, that people use GANs to actually design the new dress forms and handbags for AI, using AI in fashion. That can be a relevant point too.
There's a very interesting story about how GANs was used to generate a portrait.
Yeah.
It was sold.
Right.
And you know what happened after that?
Using open source software, they created a
They
portrait
used
and
open source software,
sold
created
it for
portraits,
some.
and made lots of money.
Right.
Off the shelf GitHub repository,
Right.
run a GAN on it, go and sell in an art gallery, make I don't know how much ever they made. And then the guy who open sourced the library is like, I did this and I'm not getting anything. So he put some case on that and there's something going on. Anyway, thank you so much. So thank you, Mitali, for the first part. I think, and yeah, we can move on to the second part, which he discussed initially about interviews in data science. That's what you want to talk about, right? Like how, I'm not sure.
Yeah, so like this is one thing that I wanted to just touch base on. That like we get a lot of resumes, a lot of profiles, people like getting connected over LinkedIn asking for help, and so I mean let's make it very interactive. I don't have any format in mind, but I just want to convey that first thing that what do you think you should be highlighting in your resume?
Work experience. Work experience.
Expectation from companies seem to be very field is so vast.
So resume will keep it to the end because we have a complete.
I mean, you should meet the basics.
And what
I mean,
value you
what
can
about
add in particular field using your existing experience.
Basically, we should try to communicate how we can add value to them. By coming.
Right, I think that's a very right point.
So what is the differentiating factor that how innovative are you and different from others? What you think that you can?
I think companies normally don't take care of those things like how innovative. I think they don't have any parameters.
Okay, I have an idea. So I have an idea. So we'll do this resume and everything after the question and answer. So now we've already had the question and answer session for the session that she presented. Now we'll have a question and answer session for 10 to 15 minutes or more for the entire forum. If you have any questions, so we have data scientists, we have we had that introduction, right? So if you have any question, beginner question, advanced question, intermediate question, regardless of the topic, you can ask, and anyone from the forum can try and answer. Anyone wants to go first? Yeah.
I've been looking at this data science, AI, and all these things for 6 months. I've enrolled so many courses, and half the way I lose the interest because it's all gibberish going over my head. Half the time it's all about mathematics. So how important is mathematics? And something I learned in my 10th and 12th. Hardly at that time, I don't know, a lot of people just mocked up it, put it in the papers, that's it. To be honest. So
anyone from the audience?
I mean, how can you have some kind of courses or something? I've actually been following a lot of people. Andrew Ng, Randy Lau, Siraj Raval, and I've gone through videos of Apply. He started one, the School of AI, that one. I have a WhatsApp group, some of the WhatsApp group which keep telling me lots of links and papers and stuff. Okay, but which thing should I use in mathematics to actually apply? That's the biggest question, because in mathematics I have hundreds and millions of things that these people say, and if you go to any course for that matter, it pretty much says, okay, this guy's theorem, this guy's algorithm, this guy's that. But anyone?
You should, like, that's the same problem which I face, and rather my approach is that I'm scared of maths. Simple. So the best course which I found was fast.ai. So it is a course which is, even the instructor himself is kind of like anti-maths, that the only maths you need of is if plus 11 and 12, and they have a separate, a very simple linear algebra course as well. So I think that would cover everything which I basically need in my everyday life. So that is one of the best courses, and it is like a bottom, top to bottom approach. Like first they teach you the real application, they don't ever use equation. Like whatever equation we need to use, they'll show it by code. So that is very like intuitive, and that solves the problem for me.
Okay, I mean, to add on to this, little bit of sorry.
Yeah, we'll come to that. Yeah. Follow Siraj Rawat, but don't stick to his 5 minutes.
Yeah, he's pretty fast. I mean, the way he explains, like, it's so easy.
The speed that he recommends is very fast. Like it's not practical enough.
I tried it.
You had something. You yourself. You and no, I person behind. Yeah, you have.
No. The thing is that I mean, I just agree with you. Maths is very much equal in some of the cases. I mean, all these programming codes, they are just behind the scenes doing the maths, right? So we cannot be able to know why we are doing this. First of all, if you are asking this question, why we are doing this, then you have to again get back to the math. And probability statistics, all these things we need to learn.
Yeah, I think we very well answered that. If you really want to know the answer of why you are doing it, how you are doing it, you need to.
So actually, I know why I understand, because I have supported Excel for 5 years. I have done a couple of Six Sigma projects where they use statistics tools, and I have used those tools and said, okay, this is, I get the outcome, and I know this problem, I use this tool. So if you're asking me to learn some 100 theorems and so many maths, so where do I use it? There should be some kind of, because whatever problem we face, there's always one generic base that is there. We can say, okay, this is the line you follow, most of these kind of problems can be solved. This is the line you follow, most kind of these problems can be solved. So if that
NG does a good job of explaining that in this course.
Yeah.
Like you said, right? You want these kind of problems, so these are your solutions for that.
So I can tell you like what I suggest people, and like if they are trying to solve one problem, I would say, see, if you look at AI, it's vast. There are lots of algorithms, lots of applications. I mean, you will. I mean, out of 10, I won't even rate myself 1 in that. If I worked on anything, if I like, it's huge. It's huge. So I would say that
Specific domain.
yes, start with one problem that you are trying to solve.
Minute domain you have to work on.
So let's say if
Even if you pick natural language processing, that is also a huge lot of domain. In that also you have to pick one small to start with.
so maybe like one problem that you can like, let's say all of you, right? Like you get up in the morning, do some like brush your teeth and come to office. Just think of ways where you can simplify your life using AI. Pick one application of it, one problem that you are trying to solve for yourself, later for the company, any company that you join. Build something around that. I mean, target on that problem, then do your research like backwards that to solve that, what algorithm you need to implement. What's the maths behind that algorithm? How is it implemented in open source? If you solve that one problem, you will know you have mastered it and you will get a lot of confidence.
Basically, automate everything in your life. Don't do anything. Sit in your room, watch Netflix. Yeah.
I actually wanted to add to his points that it is better to pick a problem statement because I'm actually a part of Wipro ISC autonomous vehicle team. So my client is actually Mercedes. So they have the most ridiculous AI demands actually because they are more difficult than a human can actually see. And for that, we have been like me and my colleagues that we are working for one problem statement past 1.5 years, and it is still in development. So what I would suggest you is actually don't look at the code as you go. Look at the problem which you can learn from it. I mean, like there are a lot of courses people have said like Coursera and all these things. They are actually a good math, but actually you need to understand by experimenting on yourself. So after a lot of things, I will also not rate myself more than 0.5 out of 10 because this is what we have learned. And when we ask professors in ISC, like, how do we tackle the statement? They say that this particular block which you have done will take more than 2 years, this particular block, to perfect it. So the entire project might take more than 5 years, but you have a timeline of 2 years. So that's where the challenges come. So I would suggest you to pick a particular problem statement and then work around it.
Okay, any other question or do you want to add a point? Anyone? Add a point, okay.
I think regarding math, so
you see, model building is only about 10 or 15%. So, I just don't concentrate more on the part, but more on how to build it. For me, taking a problem in casual, you would learn more than what you learn.
Okay. Any other questions?
For a beginner, R or Python?
For a beginner, R or Python? Anyone? Python. Why?
Okay, I'll add to this question. It depends on what domain you want to work in. If you want to go into core statistics, stick to R. If you want to be in more of bigger domain,
See,
stick to Python.
you need to know Python if you want to work on a product or a platform and build features to it. I mean, then you are building a product. You are not building a machine learning model. So you can build a model in any language, but to build a platform to work on one problem at scale, you need to do one programming language. And Python is the best right now to use to solve data science based problems. But if you want to work as an analyst, like giving some insights about reports where you do manual work also along with it, R is best suited for you. So it depends on the problem that you are trying to solve.
But the future trend says that Swift, which is used for iOS, may be the next Python for us. So
What about Julia?
So, but as you told, like FastAI person Jeremy Moore himself told that maybe FastAI will come as the major programming framework for him teaching the tools.
He's already working on Swift.
Right. Swift machine learning.
He's posting it already, like how the Swift is better.
Is that a free course?
Yeah, it's free.
It's fast.
Fast out.
Yeah, and one more thing about setting up the environment
Yeah,
around it. Okay, that's one more.
If you're using Python, I suggest you go for Anaconda packages.
Or you can try the AWS AMI is available for
and
Google Colab.
Yeah.
Colab.
This is there. One more thing is what are the kind of tools, as soon as I told this, a lot of tools came. Of course, programming unanimously we agreed on two, so I can work with one or two. That's fine. But so many tools, which is actually more better now. I'd gone once to one of the conferences in Google, and one of my friends. One, we have the API version of TensorFlow. One more, we have the Docker that we can set up. And I was working around in this, playing around with my laptop. So I'm a hardcore Windows user. I switched to Linux just to learn this. Okay. So at last, I set up one Docker thing, and a TensorFlow Jupyter page came up. Okay, what next? So which tool is more easy to use, and as I say, the product that you want to get out, which is more useful. I don't have to worry too much about the infrastructure.
Yeah, it's like which biryani is the most best biryani in the world, right? Like you get different flavors.
No. I'm asking about.
I got it. So
Basic biryani recipe.
there is the basic is the API. Then you have a Docker container. Then you have the Jupyter notebook. So basic would be the API. Which they are exposing. Then you can build things on top of that.
So which tool out of it?
So which one you like? That's
That can be separate session.
See, you can actually try doing some small modules in Python or R. Then you can decide, okay, I don't like Python syntax or how things are written, so I don't want to do that. You don't have to do extensive research to start with R or Python. Start with something, then go ahead.
So a lot of people, recommend Jupyter or Spider to get started. Spider has this integrated development.
So it will be easy for you for the first time. Then you can shift to Jupyter notebooks.
So yeah, it's again personal. Like some people don't like Jupyter at all. They would rather stick to Vim, which is okay. Yeah, but still, so I mean, a lot of people love Vim for some reason that I don't understand. Anyway, so any other question we have? No.